Let's say Neville Goddard woke up tomorrow in your body with your bank account, with your bills, with your exact financial situation. What would he do? Would he panic? Would he stress? Would he desperately search for ways to make money? Or would he do something completely different? Here's what I know. If Neville handled your finances for just 7 days using his own teachings, your entire relationship with money would transform. Not because the bank account would magically fill up, but because your consciousness about money would completely shift, and consciousness is the only reality. In this 15-minute video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what Neville would do if he had your exact financial situation. Step by step, thought by thought, the specific practices he'd use, the internal conversations he'd maintain, the assumptions he'd hold, and I think you're going to be surprised because what Neville would do is probably the opposite of what you're doing right now. If you're ready to see your financial situation through Neville's eyes, this video is for you. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about what Neville would not do. Neville would not panic. Even if the bank account showed $50 and bills were due tomorrow, Neville would not panic. Why? Because Neville understood that the 3D, the physical reality, is just a shadow. It's the outpicturing of past consciousness. Your current bank account, that's the result of your past assumptions. It has nothing to do with your future. So panicking about what is would be like panicking about yesterday. Pointless. Neville would not check his bank account obsessively. Most people in financial stress check their bank account multiple times a day, hoping something changed, hoping money appeared. Neville wouldn't do that. Why? Because obsessively checking is driven by fear and lack. It's saying, it's not here yet. Where is it? Is it coming? All lack consciousness. Neville would check his account when necessary for practical reasons, but he wouldn't monitor it anxiously. Neville would not complain about being broke. Neville taught that your internal conversations create your external reality. So if you're constantly thinking or saying, I'm so broke, I can't afford anything, money is so tight, you're reinforcing broke consciousness. You're broadcasting lack, and consciousness creates reality. Neville would never allow himself to dwell on lack. Not even for a minute. Neville would not look for how. This is big. Most people in financial trouble immediately start looking for solutions. How can I make money fast? What side hustle can I start? Where can I borrow money? Neville wouldn't waste time on the how. Why? Because the how is the universe's job. Consciousness creates reality. Your job is to assume the end. The universe handles the means. Now, here's what Neville would do. In order. Step 1. Accept current reality without resistance. Neville would look at the bank account showing $50 and simply accept it. No drama, no resistance, no judgment. Okay, this is where I am right now. This is the outpicturing of my past consciousness. That's it. Neutral acceptance. Why is this important? Because resistance to what is creates more of what is. When you fight your current reality, you give it power. You lock it in place. Acceptance allows movement. Acceptance creates space for new assumptions. Step 2, decide who he is financially. This is where the real work begins. Neville would ask himself one question. Who am I financially? Not who do I want to be? Who am I? And then he would make a decision. A firm, clear decision. I am wealthy. Not I'm becoming wealthy. Not I want to be wealthy. I am wealthy. Present tense, already done, decided. This is what Neville called occupying the state. There's a state called wealth. There's a state called poverty. You're always in one state or another. Most people are in the poverty state trying to get to the wealth state. Neville would simply decide, I'm in the wealth state now, regardless of what the bank account shows. Step 3, construct the scene. Next, Neville would create a simple mental scene that implies wealth, not a scene of getting money, a scene that assumes he already has wealth. For example, he might imagine sitting at his desk, looking at a bank statement showing a large balance and feeling calm satisfaction, or casually buying something expensive without checking the price, or making a generous donation and feeling abundant. The scene doesn't matter. What matters is that it implies wealth. It assumes wealth as the current reality. Step 4. Enter SATS with this scene. Every night before sleep, Neville would enter SATS, state akin to sleep. He'd get into bed, close his eyes, relax his body, get drowsy, and then loop that scene over and over. See it, feel it, make it sensory rich, make it real, and he'd fall asleep in that scene. Fall asleep as a wealthy person. This is how you impress the subconscious mind. This is how you shift states. This is how consciousness becomes reality. Step 5. Control internal conversations. During the day, Neville would police his thoughts ruthlessly. Every time a lack thought arose, I can't afford this. I'm so broke. Where will the money come from? He would stop immediately and redirect. I can't afford this becomes I am wealthy. I'm broke becomes money flows to me. Where will it come from becomes it's already mine in consciousness. Because Neville knew your inner dialogue creates your outer reality. If you spend all day thinking lack thoughts, you create lack. Period. Step 6. Act from the end. This is subtle but crucial. He wouldn't make decisions from poverty consciousness. That doesn't mean he'd go spend money he doesn't have. That's not what I'm saying. But he wouldn't act desperate. He wouldn't take jobs out of fear. He wouldn't make panicked financial decisions. He would move through the world as a wealthy person, with calm, with certainty, with dignity, because acting from the end reinforces the state. When you act like a wealthy person, you impress wealth consciousness on your subconscious. Step 7. Trust the bridge of incidents. Finally, Neville would simply wait, not anxiously, not desperately, but with calm certainty. He would trust that consciousness creates reality. He would trust that his assumption of wealth must harden into fact. He would trust the bridge of incidents to unfold. Maybe a forgotten refund arrives. Maybe an old client reaches out. Maybe an unexpected opportunity appears. He wouldn't try to force the how. He would just let it happen. Now here's the thing. Everything I just described, it's simple. It's not complicated, but it's hard. Because when you're broke, when bills are due, when you're stressed, every fiber of your being wants to panic, check the account, complain, look for how, think lack thoughts, act desperate. That's the default. That's what 99% of people do. And that's why 99% of people stay broke. Neville would do the opposite. Not because it's easy, but because he knows consciousness is the only reality. He knows that what you assume in consciousness must manifest in the 3D. He knows that persistence in assumption creates fact. He knows that the outside world is just a shadow of inner consciousness. So he would assume wealth, persist in wealth, be wealth, regardless of what the bank account shows. So what does this mean for you? If you're broke right now, if money is tight, if you're stressed about finances, you have two choices. Choice 1, do what most people do. Panic, stress, complain, look for how, check your account obsessively, think lack thoughts all day, act desperate, and stay exactly where you are. So choice 2, do what Neville would do. Accept what is without resistance, decide you are wealthy, create your scene, do SATs nightly, control your internal conversations, act from the end, trust the bridge of incidents. Oh, is it easy? No. Does it require discipline? Yes. Will people think you're crazy? Probably. But does it work? Yes, because consciousness is the only reality. And if you persist in the assumption of wealth, wealth must manifest. Not might, not maybe. Must. So here's my challenge to you, dear friends. For the next 7 days, I want you to wake up every morning and ask yourself one question. What would Neville do today? Then actually do it. No panic, no lack thoughts, no obsessively checking your bank account. Just assume wealth, do SATs every night, control your internal conversations, trust the bridge of incidents. And here's what I want you to do right now. Go down to the comments and declare your commitment. Write, I am wealthy, or day 1 of 7 as Neville starts tomorrow. Or share which step resonated most with you. When you publicly declare your intention, you activate it. You move from thinking about the teaching to embodying it. Then, 7 days from now, come back to this video and share what shifted, what happened in your consciousness, what appeared in your reality, what you noticed about your relationship with money, because your experience will inspire someone else who's watching right now, wondering if thinking like Neville can really change their financial situation. If this video gave you a completely new perspective on your finances, hit that subscribe button. I release new Neville Goddard content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to keep you grounded in these timeless principles. And if you know someone who's struggling financially, someone who's stuck in panic and lack thinking, share this video with them. Sometimes the greatest gift is showing someone that their current reality doesn't have to be their future reality. Remember, dear friends, consciousness is the only reality. Your bank account right now is just a shadow of your past assumptions. But what you assume today in consciousness becomes your reality tomorrow. So assume wealth, persist in that assumption, and watch reality conform. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep awakening your imagination.